Where to?
You! What are you doing here? No? You should get out of here. This place is bad news. Pardon me.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear. Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated. Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess, and my studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence. After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure. I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old, more poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter. For I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too. As I expand my dealings with the vampire government, I have encountered a disturbing new symptom of this affliction. Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, but which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo from deep within my fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of illness or theirs, for the voices are various and inconsistent. I dare not mention this symptom to my vampiric peers, for they have proven themselves true predators to whom I could be loath to reveal any sign of weakness. Indeed, these voices have counseled me against confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information the voices have given me ranges from curious to frightening. The latter case is especially true of one powerful vampire whose name I shall not commit to recording in the interests of self-preservation. The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices. I am no longer safe. I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife. Her cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was constructed with security in mind, but at that time I was not privy to the full range of vampire capabilities. The voices echo in the twisted corridors of my psyche, dark whisperings of a macabre and formless menace, the approach of which portends an end to all of this.
Lay low and be cleansed by the flames! Grout is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. No matter. Soon your self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast will be washed from the earth for the coming of the Lord. As you burn, tell them it was Grünfeld Bach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the Archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix! By the power of the Lord!
My man, what is...
Evening there. Something burning? Ooh, smells like someone burnt the burgers. Sure, I'll open her up for you. Jeez, I could go for one of them double-spaced burgers with the onions and the cheese and some bacon and a guacamole. Ooh.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him. Grout's dead? What? Bok! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Bok killed Grout to draw me out. Bok is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout? Look at me. It means, under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on... I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. You're becoming quite indispensable to me. So, out of all my available personnel, I'm going to entrust the retrieval of the sarcophagus to you. It was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago. Let me finish. The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours. Here, I'm feeling charitable. Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals are just as easy to deceive as they are to kill. One or two, but that's all. My history with that family dates back to Bok's grandfather. Witch hunters, an anachronistic holdover from the Middle Ages. They are inquisitors, whose fanaticism has convinced them that their triumph over the supernatural will save mankind and secure them a cushy spot in heaven. A blood hunt is a death sentence. When there is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane...
Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix. Camera 31, nothing. Camera 32, nothing. Camera 33, office fling.
got a lot of nerve showing up here, Lick. You fingered Nines. Said he killed a goddamn primogen. I'm willing to believe you were a patsy in all this, but I'll be watching you, kid. Don't expect to see him. Yeah? Your hand?
Listen, kid, you did what you had to do. Just a messenger, right? Don't worry about Skelter. He's like all these big barking pups nowadays. They don't bite unless they get cornered. I hear Nine's got word. I'd wager he's gonna be laying low for a while. Yeah, sure, but there's packs of youngsters out there. You're just eager to please, ain't you? I could give a goddamn kid, but I'm sure the boys here would appreciate it.
Ugh, Ken. Yeah? I think you better go. No one wants to talk about this right now. Goddamn Karens.
Money, right? Been a while. Your money's been piling up. Here, that should provide for an interesting evening.
It's a nice night out, huh?
Hey, baby, need company? Hey, baby, need company?
Need a ride?
I can't understand why someone would go through the trouble of stealing a box with a very ancient corpse. This city's not that dull. I'm an archaeologist, so I thought I'd indulge in a quick study of this Ankaran sarcophagus everyone's so riled up about. My guess, from what I've read about it, is that it's a mummified Mesopotamian king. I needed confirmation. Oh, I really wish I had. All this speculation about the sarcophagus containing an antediluvian and being a portent of Gehenna is making me cringe. These are the kinds of ridiculous, superstitious assumptions I came here to debunk. No one I know has ever met one, but each of the clans and their bloodlines supposedly trace their origin to an original vampire, an antediluvian. Some swear these grandsires still exist into the present, but then kindred and kind believe a lot of strange things. Armageddon, doomsday, the end of all kindred. It's a common facet of most mythologies. Fear that the world will end. Many believe Cain and the antediluvians will return to consume or destroy all kindred. I wholeheartedly disagree. As I said, many cultures have the fear of some form of apocalypse. Kindred believed in these stories when they were human, and naturally carried them over into kindred myth. But it doesn't take a supernatural act to cause widespread destruction. Humans and kindred are just as capable of managing their own destruction as a deity. A self-realized Gehenna warrants more vigilance than a god-induced one, don't you agree? Such is my argument, which so frequently falls on deaf ears. Thin-bloods rarely exhibit features or powers of their clan, and many can't embrace. Some are even rumored to have reproduced. Many kindred are terrified that their weak blood heralds the Cain is the biblical. What prophecy doesn't have vague For 300 years I've been trying to determine the function of our existence, the kindred's role in the world. I'm not content to attribute it to some act of supernatural biblical vengeance. We exist for a reason, and if it takes an Yes, I've heard that theory before. It certainly seems plausible, but there's little proof to support it. Still, it's a better explanation than a divine sentence for manslaughter. Remember, the truth won't be told in time. It will be told by us. Well, my work here is stolen away into the night. Think I'll do the same.
Camera 31, nothing. Camera 32, nothing. Camera 33, office fling. Camera 34, nothing. Oh, excuse me, starting to doze off there. Oh, I need to get a guard animal of some sort to alert me when folks come in. Maybe one of them chimps like on that show Ape Detective? Oh, that monkey always gets his man. What? Oh, yeah, Mr. LaCroix's expecting you. For a young guy, he sure likes to work late. Me, I spent most of my youth in the entertainment industry. Yeah, I guarded the sets for over 6 top 10 TV shows.
Yes. Yes, this is genuine and of use to me. There is something resonating from it. A whisper. I will give you this in trade. It is known as the Odious Chalice. It swells with spilled blood and offers its bloat to its owner. Yes.
What's the haps, bro?
Hey, baby, need company?
Good evening to you all. With it.
Money, right? I've got your cut right here.
My man!
Yeah, you go right on up. All these monitors and not one of them gets chips.
The folly of leadership is knowing that no matter what you do, I pronounce the blast sentence, and I soak the crit. The blood hunt on Nines Rodriguez for the murder of Alistair Grout will be called. Rodriguez's execution is only a matter of time. I have lit the fuse. If a war ignites, it's my head they will sharpen the pikes for. At least I can rest easy in knowing that you, my most promising attendant, has relieved me of one encumbrance tonight. Do you need assistance bringing the sarcophagus up to my office? Stolen? Stolen! The Nosferatu Primogen. The Nosferatu were responsible for finding out where the sarcophagus was taken after the Dane, and for getting keys to the museum. They were the only ones who knew. I want him found. I want him found. The sarcophagus could... You will find the sarcophagus. The Nosferatu lurk. Hollywood's Baron is an ant. Find Gary.
I'm sorry there, but Mr. LaCroix, he told me not to let anybody up right now. He sounded kind of... Mr. LaCroix was real specific. Not supposed to open the doors for anyone. Sorry there, Chief.
Hop in. What's the hops, bro?
A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the coast of the province of Maine has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be from a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures. A recent outbreak of several highly contagious diseases in downtown Los Angeles has CDC officials concerned Los Angeles may be a hot zone for a deadly new type of communicable virus. Local hospitals started seeing a dramatic increase in the amount of patients with severe respiratory illness, and many doctors say they may be ill-equipped to handle the surging number of new cases. The Center for Disease Control urges people in the downtown area to exercise caution and to seek medical treatment immediately if they exhibit symptoms that include fever, hacking cough, nausea, rashes or sores, painful discharges, or sudden sustained bleeding. The Southland slasher struck again, this time in downtown Los Angeles. The body of Sean Milton, a former convict that was recently released for good behavior, was found butchered, similarly to the other victims of the serial killer. Police believe there may be a connection between Milton's prison past and the slasher. We'll have a full report on this story later tonight. Simon Milligan, host of local cable show Haunted LA, and his crew are reported missing tonight. The team of the popular supernatural-themed program were filming around downtown Los Angeles, according to the show's producer. But friends and family of the crew started to worry when they failed to return from a night of shooting. No trace has been found yet of the Haunted LA team, and rumors by the show's fans speculate the crew met a supernatural end, though police disagree and have started a sweep of the areas where the crew was filming. A tourist bus destined for the ancient city of Angkor Wat that failed to return Wednesday night was found this morning, though without any trace of its operator or passengers.
You're back.
Cambodian officials have dispatched
I went out this
several
evening
military units into the
I met
area to
someone
search
and he
through
wouldn't
the
leave me
surrounding
alone,
jungle,
so
amidst
he came back
concerns that
here
it
with
is
me,
related to
and
one of a number of
I
Southeastern
thought you might
Asian
wanna,
terrorist organizations based in the
drink his
region.
blood.
3 American citizens are among the missing. Firefighters are trying to contain a flash fire in the Hollywood Hills this morning. Smoke and debris from a house fire alerted residents late this evening. The fire had already spread rapidly by the time firefighters arrived due to brush and wind conditions. Fire officials
in the bathroom.
expect the blaze to be extinguished within the next few
I locked him
hours,
in.
but are advising
Did I
local
mess
homeowners
up?
in the area to evacuate. The Ankaran sarcophagus, delivered to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History this morning, was stolen just hours before experts could examine its contents. Authorities are baffled by its theft, as the museum employs several sophisticated security measures that have foiled previous robbery attempts.
Crazy bitch.
Police speculate professional art and antiquity thieves are behind the sarcophagus's disappearance. More on this story as it breaks. The search for an LA sewer worker is beginning to look grim as police and family end their seventh night looking for Luis Salvador after he failed to return home last Friday. Salvador was last seen entering a manhole in Hollywood to carry out a routine inspection.
What the hell does that mean?
Salvador's family is hopeful that the husband and father of three will return safely and urge anyone who might have seen Salvador to contact the police. Concerned parent groups joined several senators on the step of Capitol Hill to protest the latest wave of violent video games. Senator Limperman called the games pornography and was offended by crude shots taken at him by one recent game. Among the titles the group is trying to get banned from...
Master? I promise it'll be done by the time you get back.
In the taboo-themed games. A recent outbreak of several highly contagious diseases in downtown Los Angeles has CDC officials concerned Los Angeles may be a hot zone for a deadly new type of communicable virus. Local hospitals started seeing a dramatic increase in the amount of patients with severe respiratory illness, and many doctors say they may be ill-equipped to handle the surging number of new cases. The Center for Disease Control urges people in the downtown area to exercise caution and to seek medical treatment immediately if they exhibit symptoms that include fever, hacking cough, nausea, rashes or sores, painful discharges, or sudden sustained bleeding. Religious tourists have been flocking in droves to the Santa Maria Church in Santiago, Spain, after several pilgrims claim to have seen statues of the Madonna begin crying blood. The site dates back to the period of the Romans and has several reported Weeping Virgin sightings throughout its history. One pilgrim reported that they witnessed blood coming from no less than 6 statues at around sunset, and that the courtyard felt full of sadness. Skeptics have been quick to point out that this phenomena has been debunked, and witnesses are no more credible than those that report UFOs. The Southland slasher struck again, this time in downtown Los Angeles. The body of Sean Milton, a former convict that was recently released for good behavior, was found butchered, similarly to the other victims of the serial killer.